Now let's bring in New York Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis, who voted no on the spending bill. Congresswoman, great to see you. Merry Christmas Eve to you today.
Merry Christmas.
So Republicans debated this giant bill on the floor this morning, talking about all the reasons they didn't like it. But of course, it did pass as expected, 225 to 201, with close to 230 members voting by proxy. You know, I wonder how many of those members of Congress got to even read more than just the highlights of these 4,000 plus pages to see all the details of exactly what's in there. I want to listen to Senator Mike Lee on this, and then I'll have you react on the other side.
There's not a human alive who can digest 4,155 pages of legislative appropriations text in that short a period of time. It's one of the reasons why this should never happen. Republicans, in particular, who do this, should be asked to never, ever do it again. We will self-destruct as a party.
Okay, so some harsh words there, self-destructing as a party. I want to have you react to what he had to say.
Well, look, he's absolutely right. Those who tell you that the alternative to not embracing this bill that was jammed down our throats at the 11th hour right before Christmas, they're telling us the alternative was to shut the government down. That is simply not true. There was another alternative, and that was to continue the current funding level until the new year and allow the new Congress that the people elected in November to draft a budget that was appropriate, that was responsible, and reflected the priorities of American voters that spoke very clearly. This bill, which increases spending by $119 billion, it also does not fund our border, despite giving tons of money to Middle Eastern and African countries to secure theirs. It adds anti-energy policies that will just continue to fuel high energy costs and food costs for the people. It does not reflect the priorities of the American people. It actually adds to the debt, adds to inflation instead of cutting it. So we're going in the wrong direction right now. And all they had to do was allow the House to do its job in the new Congress. There's never been before a lame duck Congress that has tried to jam this type of massive spending bill on the way out the door.
Okay, so a lot of things in there you mentioned that you don't like, but there were 9 Republicans, your colleagues, who voted yes. Why do you think they voted yes?
Well, those are members who are, again, on their way out the door. And I think it's kind of just taking the pork and running. And it is unfortunate because I don't believe that this is in the best interest of the American people. Look, we need to get serious about spending in this country. We need to look for areas to cut. If you went through this bill, and I tried, it was 4,100 pages. We tried to do what we could in terms of going through it. You found a lot of wasteful programs, more money being spent to international organizations, more money being sent to, umbrellas under the United Nations, more money being spent overseas for all sorts of purposes in other countries while we have American families struggling here at home. And the fact that we did not have the time to read it and that they're trying to bring it when people are busy with Christmas, not paying attention in the news, that's exactly what they want. They don't want the American people to know what's in it. And that's why they went through this process. They could have easily, in September, extended this for the rest of the year, the funding. But they chose to come back in December to give themselves one more bite at the apple should they lose in November's election. That's exactly what happened. So this is riddled with policies and spending. Think about this, $1.9 billion COVID bill that we passed in the beginning of this Congress. That bill had 900 pages. I voted against that as well. And that was riddled with tons of debt and waste and fraud. Now, think about this. This bill is 4,100 pages. So what is in here? And that's what we hope to find out. But we shouldn't have to pass this bill to find out what's in it. It's wrong.
Yeah, you certainly didn't have a lot of time to read it, and a lot of pork in earmarks going home to different districts around the country, Michelle Obama hiking trail, different projects for universities in a variety of states. So a lot of members are going to go home and tout these things, and you wonder if maybe that's why, of course, they voted yes. Love to talk to you about this some more. We're out of time for right now. Representative Nicole Malliotakis, thank you so much for your thoughts today on this $1.7 trillion spending bill. Merry Christmas to you, and we'll see you in the new year.
Merry Christmas.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.